the system's under immense pressure. I would say, though, that performance in the family justice system is almost entirely measured in relation to timeliness. And that is a problem in itself, in that we don't have a way of measuring whether the system is effective in terms of improving children's lives or really understanding the experiences of parents and children.
Statistics speak for themselves. Without shared parenting, children are twice as likely to abuse drugs or alcohol, twice as likely to drop out of school, 4 times more likely to struggle with emotional or behavioral problems, and 7 times more likely to become teen parents. Even more alarming, 63%, that's 63% of youth suicides and 71% of school dropouts involve children who lack access to both parents. We can seek guidance from lawyers, from judges, and so-called experts, but perhaps the most valuable voices belong to the adult children of divorced parents. A striking 93% of them who had equal shared parenting time said it was the best arrangement. These are truly the experts. My amendment is quite simple. At the onset of a custody dispute, if both parents are deemed fit, the default should be 50-50 custody. If the judge or the court decides otherwise, they must provide a written explanation. Quite simple. If it's not 50-50, give us a court order. This measure ensures accountability within our judicial system and protects the rights of both parents and children alike. This issue, again, is very personal. My own children suffered because of an unjust court ruling. A judge, in a matter of mere minutes, decided they would only be allowed to see me, their father, every other weekend. That was the day that I resolved to run for this office to fix the broken and corrupt family court system.
My name's Natalie. I'm from Halifax in Yorkshire. I came down yesterday on the train. I've stayed here for 2 nights to abseil down the Spinnaker Tower. I'm doing it on behalf of Papa because I am an alienated mother at the minute. I've not seen my children since last July. I was a sole carer for them for 10 years and unfortunately I've gone through quite a lot of control and coercive behaviour where the litigation abuse toppled it, where he's got the control he needed and I've got no contact now. So I want my children to know that I am fighting for them and I want them to know that what they're going through isn't anything that's my fault or their fault, but it is an issue and an issue that's not being addressed in the country and the courts or the police system at the minute. So I am doing it to help people recognise the systematic failures going on in the UK at the minute and to try and get some awareness out there.
Hundreds of people gathered in Portsmouth this evening to mark Parental Alienation Awareness Day. The campaign group PAPA hopes that turning the Spinnaker Tower green for the night will raise awareness of the harmful effects of when one parent undermines a child's relationship with the other parent.
This should already have been done. It shouldn't be us doing this. This should have been done 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago when people were first being treated this way. Yep. You know, millions and millions of people have been through this. So it shouldn't be us doing this. This should already have happened. But it is us doing it, and we are the only ones doing it. So it is up to us, and it is up to everybody else who follows us, who's part of PAPA, who joins, who's members of PAPA. It's up to all of us collectively to get this over the line.
Looking forward to it. Got one bit. But it's got to be done. That's the spirit.
My name's Jane and I volunteer with PAPA for the case review team, and I'm just really excited to be here. It's absolutely daunting, absolutely terrifying, but I want to be first up and get it over with. I think it's just the most important thing. I think the atmosphere already is like palpable, the excitement. I can't wait. I'm really excited about it. I just think it's the most important cause. I want to get the message out, get more people talking about it, more people aware of what we're going through, how it's impacting not just the children, but the parents, families, extended families, and the more people know about it, the better. So I'm just really honoured to be here. I'm so excited for the event and I want everyone to be talking about it.
Doing all the important paperwork.
Yeah, I had to read it first. No one else is reading.
Don't read it, just sign it.
I have to.
Just like the family court.
Yeah. Don't need the details.
2 other pubs along there that I asked me.
It was quite busy with a lot of people, so I think there is probably a little bit better on that bit for the meat.
No, it's busy there.
Oh, it's a bit.
Really
Oh,
busy
sorry, the
there.
spice one.
It's busy everywhere. On a day like this,
Yeah.
it's busy everywhere. No, it's good though. It's good that it'd be busy. It's a 15-minute walk. So you kind of walk round.
There's a chain on the floor that you can follow.
Is it? I've never looked.
You know, yeah, there's a...
What, does that go past the fishing rod?
Yeah, there's a pattern on the floor, there's some tiles on the floor, and there's a chain, you follow the chain and it takes you around.
My message to everyone that's out there is you've got the opportunity now. Someone's doing something. There's going to be a huge show, as in, the light show, standing in solidarity, lighting up the Spinnaker Tower for Parental Alienation Awareness. So all we need now is for everyone to do their part, turn up, and help us to drive this forward. Help us to. It's only going to work if everyone comes.
We have 5 PAPA volunteers who are amazing volunteers. They're absolutely amazing. They help with people's cases, people who book calls and need help and support through the website. These guys are helping managing people's family court cases, and they do it completely voluntarily. They're absolutely awesome people. And 5 of them have volunteered to abseil down the Spinnaker Tower on the day.
My name's Gareth. I've come from just outside Liverpool. I've come all the way down here today to try and raise awareness for this cause. I haven't seen my children in over a year now. I appreciate all the work PAPA do trying to raise awareness of this issue, and if we can all try together, maybe we can make some changes, and hopefully I'll get to see these two sometime soon.
Hello, my name's Paul. I've come all the way to beautiful Portsmouth from Banbury, so all the way down all the lovely main roads. I'm here, PAPA. I joined PAPA some time ago. I've had a long battle to be a loving dad to a beautiful girl. And I've had so many hurdles. I thought I'd join these lovely people who are in a similar plight to raise awareness. There's loving dads, there's loving mums out there that aren't seeing their children for no good reason. So I'm here, the sun is shining, it's positive, lots of lovely people here sharing our stories, and we hope to make a difference. So those family court judges out there, the CAFCAS people, all those people that can help protect our children and make their childhoods happy with both parents, I will do anything to do that. But I won't go up on that Spinnaker thing.
It's interesting. It's nice. It's nice that so many people have come from so far. Ash is like stepping really far back. He's not interested. I was like, I'm talking to myself. No, it's nice that so many people have come from different places. From Newcastle, Birmingham, Stafford, Cumbria. Someone said they'd 8-9 hours or something drive. It's insane. I think I said 8 hours. So it does show how much this means to people, which is great. It's great to know that we're doing something that is impacting people's lives. I haven't even had a chance to think how I feel, to be honest with you. It's been full on straight away, meeting everybody, and it's been strange to have it. I'm used to people coming up to me every now and again, maybe once a day max, once a week, but having so many in quick succession is new. it's nice. It's nice that these people are happy to meet me, and but it's not about me. It's about the cause. It's about PAPA in general and what PAPA stands for, and I'm just glad that we're able to give them something that they are willing to travel for, even if that's just a light of hope. Because it's a building block. This year we've got Niagara Falls as well, and it's just a building. They're all building blocks to bigger and better things, and that's what this is about, keeping the momentum. He's on his way. He's only coming from Chichester. He won't be far, but the meeting place. No, I don't like that side. I like my left side. Any footage you get on my left side. I'm going to be a diva now. I've actually got the tower in that side. That's the real reason. Now we're going to the meeting place of Spice Island. See the tower light up. See the band.
We've got over 200,000 UK followers just on Facebook. If 1% show up, that's just over 2,000 people. People are going to make notice of over 2,000 people in one place, especially if they're all, well, not all, I know they're not all, we haven't sold that much merch, but if a lot of them are in their PAPA merch, and we're going to give away some freebies on the night as well. And a lot of, it sends a message. I'm going to get some, those signs that I hold. They're just plain things you get from Hobbycraft. I'm going to get loads of them. People can write on them, post photos. Let's send some messages out there. We've got that massive, massive symbol, that beacon of hope and resilience, as we called it last year. We've got that huge, huge tower behind, which will be behind everybody. Use it to send the messages to your children, to the MPs, to government, to the media. Like, everybody can use that platform to send a message.
Hi, I'm Scott from the band Kissed by Vultures. I'm the lead singer, guitarist and songwriter. We're here today to represent papa.org, and Simon's a friend of mine. He helped me when I was going through family court a few years ago. Basically, I've been alienated from my two boys for 2 years now, and he was helping me as I was going through the family court system. Unfortunately, I've not been able to see my kids now for 2 years. So yeah, we're here to represent Simon and his group.
My name's Melanie Gill. I am an attachment specialist, I'm a psychologist, I'm a forensic consultant, and I've been an expert witness on parental alienation cases for 20 years. Unfortunately, like many other experts, I've been witch hunted by radical feminist journalists, barristers, lots of different people in order to shut me down and stop me doing the work that I happen to think I'm quite good at. It's happening all over the world, happening to many colleagues, and essentially what they're trying to do is keep the science out of court, keep the science of assessment and how you can actually get to the bottom of these cases using specialist tools, and then you can help families also using specialist tools. And so the main thing that the deniers want to do is to stop all that, and is to push a narrative that says that basically all women are victims and all men are abusers, and that children should only be with mothers. And over the 20 years that I've been doing these cases, if you don't get to the bottom of these very, very complex cases, if you don't explain the trauma that children in these cases actually experience, then nobody's going to know. And too often, the trauma that the children are suffering is completely ignored by courts, and that's getting worse. And one of the reasons is because the science is being kept out. So that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm campaigning for, is to bring the specialist knowledge and the science that all professionals could use if they trained in it back into the court system, so that we can have better outcomes for families and children.
are you filming? That'd be a bit weird. Why are you filming me? I don't know, you're filming me. No, you're filming me. How'd it go anyway, alright?
Everybody, ScottReviewsThings, world famous reviewer of the beers.
World famous is slightly.
Ultra famous.
I like someone described me as a minor local celebrity, and I like that. So I hit into that now.
We'll take that.
But yeah, but obviously, I'm a survivor of parental alienation and a huge advocate for what these guys are doing, and it's really important work. So thank you to Mark, thank you to Simon for actually getting the message out there that, you know what, because it could be a lonely place, so getting a message that you're not alone and there are people that will listen to you is absolutely vital, and what they've done here is incredible.
Today is officially Parental Alienation Awareness Day, but the truth is it doesn't start and end today, because every single day children are being harmed. Every single day loving parents are being pushed out of their children's lives, and every single day we all have a responsibility to speak up. So tonight isn't just about awareness, it's about momentum. We need every single one of you to help us carry this forward, to keep building pressure, to keep raising voices, because we will not stop until every child has equal opportunity to love and be loved by both parents. We will not stop until those responsible for parental alienation are held accountable, and we will not stop until Papa is no longer needed because the problem no longer exists. Thank you.
My name's Gareth. I've come from Worcester, and I'm here today to support the cause and Papa and what they're trying to achieve. It's important to me personally because I'm going through a court case at the moment for my son, and I think obviously there are a lot of people affected by what happens in family court, and the impacts are huge on parents, fathers, mothers, and also children. Because of the court proceedings, I'm ordered to write letters, postcards, send gifts. I am able to message my son, but because of the alienated nature, which hasn't been recognised by the court, it's my belief that my son doesn't receive them, which is something the court haven't dealt with. I think everything is far too slow. Because obviously, when your children are young, time is important, and even a day, you can't get that back once it's gone. I've lost 14, 15 months. My son was 9 the last time I saw him. He's now 11. I've missed 2 of his birthdays. I've missed 2 Christmases. And my personal situation started when I planned to take him on a Christmas holiday to Cyprus, which was mutually and amicably agreed. I turned up to take him on holiday, and the door was slammed in my face and passports denied. There should be more of an importance to make sure that, you know, parents and children that are involved in family court proceedings, they should be able to have that contact a lot sooner than what they actually do. You know, even if I got to see my son one day a week while the court's proceedings were taking place, I think it would have helped the situation. But given that 16 months have passed now and I haven't even seen my son, there's a lot of work to do to rebuild that relationship. Even though we have joint parental rights, I could have taken him off the school playground that day, but I didn't necessarily want to cause any more stress to my son. So I kind of had to watch him and wave goodbye. I went into school the following week, permitted by the headmistress. She said, you're fine to be here. Come and say hello. I can't stop you. And I spoke to my son, and I just promised him that I would see him soon. And he knows I'm fighting for him. That was 14, 15 months ago, and time's just flying by now, and I haven't seen him not once. Even when the judge orders something like ICFA to take place, that was due to take place in February, but it seems that CAFCAS and ICFA have ignored what she wanted to implement, and there's been no communication whatsoever on both sides, whether it be CAFCAS or ICFA. My son would tell me anything, anything that was bothering him at all. And that was sort of eroded. He'd just struggled to talk to me in the end, the last time I saw him, for fear of repercussions from other parties. I can't speak for him. I haven't seen him for a long time. But to have a loving relationship taken away from you, that will affect anyone. When all this started, I struggled for months, really, about 4 or 5 months. But I just had to keep fighting. I was lucky enough to have good friends and family around me that were encouraging me to fight and stay strong. But when I think of all the good times that I spent with him, it breaks me down. Emotionally breaks me down massively. And like I say, the sense of urgency, or the lack of the sense of urgency from the courts and all the professionals involved, is the most frustrating thing, really, because, it hurts me as an adult, as a father. So you can only imagine what it's doing to a 9, 10-year-old child. As a parent, you're their world. Everything you do is based around them, and one day they're just not there. It's a really strange feeling and a really strange place to be. I think the professionals in the courts need to recognise that if a parent isn't seeing their children, it's the worst pain you can ever imagine. But there's no therapeutic support. We're just left to deal with that and fight for our children, and you can get on with everything else we have to do in life. From me personally, I run a business, and I find it hard dealing with all the admin, and because sometimes my thoughts are on my son. So the struggle's real. It hits you in every aspect of life. To pay for the extra finances of solicitors and that sort of thing, I've had to take on more work, which inevitably makes me physically more tired. But, the love for my son keeps me focused, and I just keep driving on, and I'll never quit. Even though the judge had ordered ICFA to take place, the frustrating part is that it seems that everyone involved, they've just ignored. They've ignored what the judge had ordered, and it hasn't happened. I was under the impression that if the judge orders something, then it is to happen. I'm grateful that I have my beautiful son, even though I can't see him. I'm grateful for all the support, friends and family, and you guys. Meeting you guys from Papa makes me realise that I'm not alone. To reform family court, everything needs to be speeded up. There doesn't seem to be a sense of urgency. Family court is so slow. The day that passes, you can't get it back. And that's whether you're a parent or a child. There needs to be some sort of way that false accusations can be overlooked right at the very start, at the beginning. So, I think it would be beneficial that all parents involved in a court case maybe undergo alcohol testing, drug testing, safeguarding. And if there are no safeguarding issues, in my case, there wasn't, you should be given access to your child straight away, even if there's an ongoing court case, whether it be supervised or unsupervised, just so that bond with your child isn't broken.
I'm Stuart. I've come from Worthing, and I've travelled by car today. It's taken me just over an hour to get here. But it's worth it. I came last year, and this year's bigger and better than last year. I've been through the family court, I've had no joy, and I just feel my one chance in life to be a dad has been taken away. And without an organisation to actually have a voice for us, we're just little people. We need the bigger organisation to actually help us, because you're just lost in life otherwise. Got children you're fighting for, but no purpose in life. I think the problem is you go to court, you get a court order, then the court order doesn't get abided to, and then you go back to court, we get the same court order and it's not abided to. And every time you go back to court, you say the other parent is saying then you from alienating them, you from the children. The judge isn't listening to what you're saying. You're just another dad just fighting for your children. And you're seen more as a nuisance because you've gone back to court rather than a parent that wants to be involved in your children's lives. And to actually see your children, physically see them as they're growing up, rather than just be someone that pays anonymously for 2 children that you just don't see, unfortunately. I've not seen my children for 4 years, but in 10 years I've seen them for 46 hours through contact centres, then coming away from contact centres because my ex-partner didn't abide by the court order, so I have to go back to court, and then you have to go back to the contact centre because you've not seen me for a year. It's just a never-ending saga of the same story over and over. And every time you go to court, it's the same story, but you don't get anywhere. There's no enforcement of anything, even if you go for an enforcement. At this point, I find that when you go to court, Kafkas never even spoke to me, and they can write documents about me, and they've never even met me. I don't understand how that could even go to court. Surely, if you talk to the mother, you should talk to the other parent involved in the situation. And then the judges, when you go to court, if you're upset, you're seen as weak. And then if you don't have any emotion, you're seen as someone that's strong and bitter. It's hard. You want to be human, but when you go to court, it's hard because being emotional doesn't get you anywhere. And then trying to be cold, like when you're representing yourself, it's just a hard battle. You can't win. You cannot win. And it's not about winning. It's about the children overall. And it's about them should have a relationship with both parents. And the parents should be made to work together, unless there's some sort of abuse between the partners. But I think the parents, if they work together and they actually go to courses and they were told that the children could be taken away from both parents, not just one parent, then it should make it so the parents work together. You got together one time because you loved each other. You should be able to work together for the children, regardless that you're not with each other anymore. There's going to be a point where the children are going to be torn between one parent or the other parent. But it should never be like that. The family court should make it so the parents work together, rather than solicitors play one off against the other. And it's to make money out of it, because the only one that ever wins is the solicitors. My ex-wife made up that I was horrible to my children with no evidence, because you don't need evidence, you just need an accusation. And I proved what she said was not right, but it didn't really matter, because what the mum said was seen as the mum does not lie. It's the father that lies. For 10 years, I've spent 37,500, got myself into debt. I've got a credit card, which I don't have anymore, but financially strained myself, as well as paying child maintenance, trying to have somewhere to live and not be a failure. And it's hard because sometimes the only way out is suicide, and you have to try and rise above it, because if you go to be depressed or you've seen suicide when you go to court, then it's held against you, and then you're seen as a weak person. It's not until you're in a situation you could ever understand how the side is just twisted. You can't do anything right. I got knocked down by a car when it first happened. So I'm grateful that I've learned to walk again and got movement in my arm, and I've got fitness back in my life. Without fitness and having a sense of purpose, I wouldn't be anywhere. Third thing I'm thankful for is having 2 lovely children that hopefully one day will understand how much I've fought to be in their lives and do everything I can to be in their lives. Even their school reports, I get taken off their school mailing list. Everything I do, I try to do for my children. And one day they'll realise that their dad was a decent person, but they just missed out on their childhood with their dad. 3 things to reform the family court would be Kafkas are useless. They're literally a ticking box exercise. They're not interested in. They met their mother, but they meet their dad. And I've met so many dads over the course of time, and you get good dads, bad dads, good mums, bad mums. And I've met so many people that have had Kafkas reports, and Kafkas have never spoken to the father. It's purely in what the mother says. How can that be a fair process? And then when you go to court, the waiting list is so long. I've waited over 1.5 years to go to court. I've missed my children's life for 1.5 years just to go to court, to go back to court. And then they say you can have an hour at contact centre once a month and then build it up, or once a week and build it up. and then the contract gets broken, then you have to go back to court and you have to wait another year. So the family court system, it waits way too long. And the third thing is the family courts should make it so the parents have to work together. The solicitors are only there to make money for their own pocket. They're not there to help each parent. The one thing I'll change about family court is I feel there needs to be more men involved in family court. So when I go to court, and I've been to court for 10 years, it's always women judges, women social workers, and men are bad. And it's seen as men are bad. Or the reason why the blokes are there is because they are there because they love their children and want to be in their children's life. The second thing I'll change about the family courts is the waiting list. The waiting list takes so long. You've lost years of your children's lives before you've gone anywhere with anything. And the third thing is to make it so the parents have to work together, because ultimately one time they loved each other.
My name is Lisa and I've come from Hailing Island. I'm here because the tower is lit up for the children, and today is the eve of my son's birthday tomorrow. I haven't had maternal contact since 2017 because of coercive control and extreme behaviour, extreme alienation. My ex-spouse and his family, Freemasonry, was political. He engineered a staging, framing, conspiracy, severe threat to life. I couldn't get into my house. I had to stay out. In that time, he manipulated severely my children, and he has altered them beyond being relatable to me. He weaponized them, manipulated them, and totally changed their personality in my absence, and was creating a narrative so that every time I went back to try and get into my house, he would stage and set things up so that there was incidents. And because there was Freemasonry, they would frame it so that it looked like me, so that then I had to stay out the picture more. And so I couldn't have contact. My ex-spouse was the applicant. PTSD caused by him. There was the applicant. He bought his rights. It was a private matter. The authorities were negligent, ignorant. They hid paperwork. They falsified, framed. They manipulated, kept me out of the picture, had secret meetings, wrote false letters, and the judges were political. And I was a homeopathic lay practitioner. I've been homeopathic for many years, very natural. And they took a very negative view of that because I'm not your typical mainstream person. My husband was into addictions, violent, but he wasn't like that in the marriage. It was a turning point when his family, Freemasonry, there was a point, 2015, when he suddenly changed into somebody else and not recognisable to me. So that was a shock. We couldn't relate. They changed the judges all the time, the authorities. Before, when it first started, they were very good. I had all the good references. They referred my husband as high risk. The GPs, everybody referred him as high risk, and I was the responsible, conscientious parent. Had a huge file, but it got blocked. They refused my rights to be represented. They wouldn't allow my file to go through. They said it needed a criminal court. That had to be led by the authorities. The authorities weren't doing it. So he was the applicant, financial. They bought their rights. They bought an occupation order that shouldn't have happened. And there was lots of forgeries, forged signatures. It was directions one way. They wouldn't let me. I wasn't recognised. I wasn't acknowledged. They falsified, kept writing, they wrote orders that were untrue. And by the end of it, I was fighting for my life. And then there was repeated attempted murders through COVID. And then at the end of the process, there was a final order. They signed me off my house deeds behind closed doors. I was making complaints, and that was it, non-caseable. And I was never really taken seriously. Everything I submitted, they refused, they hid. Yeah. Social services were involved. I kept reporting. I kept making complaints and reporting, but they siding with my husband.
Through his connections? Through
his connections. It was political. His solicitor was also a council leader at the time, Conservative council leader, which was unknown to me. They gave me severe PTSD and peripheral neuropathy. I was even abducted, taken hostage, and...
By who?
They paid the police to do a false arrest for no reason. And I was lucky to get out of that alive. I screamed so loudly that people came and they filmed it. It was really bad. My children aren't who they were. Before 2015 was the turning point, and they were perfect children. And then by 2017, things were changing. I was kept at arm's length. All my rights were violated, and then things just went. I couldn't get into my house. I had to stay out because it was dangerous. I was being blamed for everything, so I stayed out to keep the peace. And the advice was step back, stay out of the picture, and things will be okay. It's a long story, but then I got my house back. Then he bought an occupation order to get back in corruptly. My evidence was suppressed. Then it was COVID. They vacated the hearing. Then there was nothing. I've uploaded into Facebook. So they've got evidence in there. My younger son was 10. And I was being told by everybody at the time that he was old enough to make a choice. I wasn't allowed to subject access. They were beyond the age where I was legally allowed. I've then since found out that that was not true. So the GP surgery, the dentist, everybody was keeping me out of my information. Child services, they wouldn't give me my information. So, and I wasn't in a good way. My husband kept staging incidences all the time, constantly harassing me, arranging to have me run over, that kind of thing. It just got too much, really. Then I had to go through solicitors telling me that they're not interested in seeing my evidence, just agree with the other side. I couldn't get represented, just wore myself out, really, going round all of them. I should have got legal aid, but they all fobbed me off and said I wasn't entitled, but I was entitled. Now it finished in 2022. They signed me off my house deeds, and forced me out, really, and that's it. I couldn't argue with it because every time I tried to get legal advice, they said, a judge is never wrong. A judge wouldn't do that. We don't believe you. I've been just trying to get myself back on my feet, really, because it made me really unwell. Been in survival mode ever since, because when there's legal abuse, it has a knock-on effect with your housing rights, with any other legal thing that you try and do, with living somewhere and everything. It's defamation, so it affects the way people see you because you look like the one in the wrong. He got the house with the children on his side, so people don't treat you as you should be treated. There's a lot of discrimination. Because I'm a female, it's really hard. Some days my blood pressure was so low that I probably shouldn't be alive, and I had to film that live into Facebook, how low my blood pressure got, because I was constantly having to fight things. They keep wanting to drain finances, keep forcing me to pay as if I'm someone I'm not, because it's not recognised. It is recognised. The GPs, everyone recognises it, but it's the courts that block it. The legal system blocks the truth. So they have it their way and order things. And when you try and move on, and there's a ripple effect. Then you have to go through the milestones, don't you, of birthdays and all of that. And when there is a legal process active, you've got hope. Can I just get that? So what helps me cope is to blog myself, journal myself. I take pictures, records every day and make sure that I'm keeping a diary as much as I can, because I actually lost the truth after it happened. I was so indoctrinated and felt so guilty and everyone kind of saying, well, the judges wouldn't be wrong and all of this. So you've just kind of, for a while, I think it made me a bit crazy. It's based on financial gain, and I think it's evil. These people don't like children. They don't seem to want the children to be with the right people. there does seem to be some conspiracy where they want the children to end up with the abusers. It's so much of it's happening.
We watch the news. We're scared for our lives. But what about the children who can't even fight? 800,000 children go missing every year in our world. How do we stop this, dismantle the system? Oh, this is out of hand. It's not the left versus the right, it's what is wrong and what is right. We've gotta stand up and fight for our children. The world is paying to be blind, feeding into all the lies. We've gotta open up our eyes and save our children. And save our children. People in power have the means to cover up their crimes. They tell us what we wanna hear, to take over our minds. 800,000 children go missing every year in our world. We gotta wake up, dismantle the system. Oh, this is out of hand. It's not the left versus the right, it's what is wrong and what is right. We've gotta stand up and fight for our children. The world is paying to be blind, feeding into all the lies. We've gotta open up our eyes and save our children. And save our children.
This weekend saw the largest demonstration yet in support of people affected by parental alienation held in Portsmouth.